How often do we hear that a leader claims their project was delivered on time and on budget? And this is often wildly misleading because it depends on your point of reference. I always ask a couple of pointed questions to sort out the dogs from the fleas. Welcome to Moments with Marty, your short, sharp shot of leadership insight to help you stay on track between our weekly episodes of the No Bullshit Leadership podcast. Now, many of you probably don't realise that I cut my leadership teeth on large software development projects as a project manager. And throughout my career, I've had executive or sponsorship accountability for large projects in construction, procurement, major asset overhaul, and capital efficiency. So when I get to talk about projects, it's like putting on a favourite old pair of slippers. How often do we hear that a leader claims their project was delivered on time and on budget? And this is often wildly misleading because it depends on your point of reference. I always ask a couple of pointed questions to sort out the dogs from the fleas. First question, was it delivered to the original budget and on the original delivery date? Or are you comparing it to the fourth delay and budget overrun that were forced as the project veered wildly off track from its original approval parameters? My second question, what was it that was delivered on time and on budget? Was it the full functionality that was originally promised, or was it a much watered down version as you had to strip out features to meet the budget and deadline constraints? Many projects end up delivering what we call MVP, minimum viable product, instead of the all singing all dancing version that was originally scoped out and approved. My third question, what was the quality like? What shortcuts did you have to take to keep the project on track? Now you'll probably agree after that on time and on budget isn't as impressive as it may first seem. I want to just briefly fly over the top of the 7 things that in my experience will make your project fail-proof. Number 1, find the project owner and make them own it. In my experience, lack of clear project ownership is a key point of failure. The project sponsor has to make the critical decisions that drive the project, but many just see it as an honorific post. Number 2, make accountabilities within your project team super clear. This means providing extreme clarity and accountability between the teams that are running the project and those that ultimately have to live with the outcomes the project produces. Number 3, respect the stage gates. If you have a significant project that requires incremental approval at different points, don't treat the reviews and approvals as a fait accompli. Don't fall in love with your project. You need to seriously examine whether the project still stacks up based on what you learned in the previous phase. And you need to be prepared to kill it if killing it is the best option. Number 4, track the right things during execution. Now, tracking budget and time is important, but even more important is the concept of earned value. For you finance heads, think of it like an accounting accrual. If you've expended 40% of the budget and 40% of the time, well, you should have also completed 40% of the work. Quite often we see a situation where 40% of the money and time have been expended, but only 10% of the progress milestones have been achieved. This is an early warning sign of impending doom for anyone who cares to look. Number 5, be project literate. You need to understand critical concepts like sunk cost. Now, sunk cost fallacy is extremely common. This is when a person is reluctant to abandon the project because they've invested heavily in it beforehand, even though it's clear that abandonment would be the best path. Never put good money after bad. Number 6, never lose sight of the ultimate purpose of the project. The purpose of the project isn't to deliver the project. It's to produce an outcome that enables the company to generate profitable growth. If it doesn't do that, you might need to rethink it a little. And finally, number 7, put individuals on the hook for delivering the benefits, not just the project itself. Benefits recovery is the name of the game. The project can't be called a success until the promised benefits are captured. If you want to take a deeper dive into how you can achieve predictable success with your next big project, have a listen to episode 89 of the No Bullshit Leadership podcast. Are all projects doomed? We'll leave a link in the show notes. I really hope you enjoyed this moment, and that gives you that extra little spark to be a no bullshit leader.